You wake up in the morning and your heart is literally racing with excitement. You just saw her in your dream, as real as back then. And then you think, it was just my brain processing the pain. Exactly this thought is the biggest mistake grieving owners often make. What you experienced last night was scientifically and spiritually absolutely not a normal dream. Many people never speak about it, out of pure fear of misunderstanding. They wake up, feel this incredible tingling on their skin and cry quietly. Because the loss feels even more painful and deeper afterwards. But this experience is actually the most beautiful gift you have ever been given. There is a gigantic difference between a grief dream and a real visit. A visit from a dimension that we can hardly grasp with our minds. If you know the 3 secret signs, you will see these encounters differently forever. Let's start with what normally happens in our brain at night. When we grieve deeply, our subconscious tries to somehow sort this absolute chaos. This often leads to chaotic, very exhausting dreams in which we desperately search for them. We run through empty houses, call their names and wake up completely exhausted. That is the hard psychological work of your soul processing the terrible loss. But then there are these entirely different, incredibly clear moments in the night. Experts in grief research and parapsychology call this phenomenon the authentic visitation dream. And here comes the first, extremely important sign of a real visit. The first sign is the absolute, crystal clear reality of this special encounter. Normal dreams usually fade away just a few minutes after waking up. But a visit burns itself deeply and indelibly into your entire memory. You remember every single, tiny detail as if it had just happened. You feel the weight of her soft body again exactly on your chest. You feel the texture of her silky fur quite clearly under your trembling fingers. This physical experience is so intense that your nervous system reacts completely confused. The second sign is even more baffling and harder to rationally explain. It is the complete emotional calmness and the absolute peace in this dream. There is no panic, no endless searching and absolutely no more unanswered questions. She usually comes to you completely healthy, radiant and full of incredible energy. Often you see her exactly as she was in her best, strongest years. She looks directly at you, deep into your eyes, and communicates completely without words. You know this, right? That moment when you just absolutely know what she is thinking. In this dream she tells you in an indescribable way, "I am fine. You don't have to worry anymore, my pains are finally over." Let that sink in for a moment. This is no coincidence of your brain chemistry. It is a conscious message that requires an extremely large amount of energetic power from her. She crosses an enormous boundary just to give you this one comfort. But what comes next really shook me to the core the first time. That is the third, absolutely unmistakable sign of a real, authentic visit. It mostly happens in exactly the moment you abruptly wake up. Many owners report an extremely specific smell directly in the dark bedroom. The familiar, warm smell of her fur that hangs in the room's air for seconds. Or a quiet, fading purr that slowly glides over into the real world. It is as if 2 completely different dimensions overlap for a blink of an eye. Your mind immediately searches for a logical, tangible explanation for this phenomenon. You look around the dark room and your mind says, "That was just imagination." But your heart beats wildly and knows with absolute certainty, she was really just here. These visits, by the way, don't always happen immediately in the very first days. Often it takes many weeks or months until your mind is calm enough for it. As long as we are completely caught in the deepest, most painful grief, the door is locked. They can hardly penetrate this thick wall of strong pain and despair. You first have to learn to consciously open your inner door for these magical encounters. That doesn't mean you should immediately stop missing her so much. It just means you give peace a little space in your grief. When you go to bed in the evening, speak very softly and calmly with her. Tell her that she is absolutely welcome anytime if she has the strength for it. And above all, tell her that she doesn't have to worry about you anymore. Exactly this inner permission often opens the invisible channel between your two worlds. It is an invitation that travels from heart to heart through space and time. Some people wait years for exactly this one, life-changing dream. And when it finally comes, it changes the perspective on death forever. You wake up and feel completely whole again for the first time in a long time. A deep, incredible peace spreads in your exhausted body. Because you received the absolute, irrefutable proof that her soul lives on eternally. She is free from her sick body, free from all earthly pains. But her love for you has remained so strong that she can overcome any space. Do you still remember her last, difficult hours exactly? How her weak body struggled and you felt so terribly helpless. You wished you could simply take over her pain completely. These terrible images probably tormented you mercilessly in countless nights afterwards. And then, completely unexpectedly in a totally normal night, she suddenly stands there again. Her fur shines beautifully in the light. Her eyes are completely clear and alert again. She jumps up to you on this soft bed with her old lightness. You feel her little paw exactly on your cheek, gentle and incredibly warm. In this one perfect moment, all the months of despair and guilt disappear. She looks at you and you hear her quiet voice directly in your own heart. Thank you for loving me. I am doing wonderfully now. And you wake up with tears on your face, but without this crushing, heavy weight. That is the moment when the true healing of your wounded soul finally begins. You know now that death is not the absolute, final end of your story. It is merely a transition into a completely new form of eternal connection. Your beloved cat is now a free spirit watching over your world. She no longer needs a physical body to be very close to you. Every time you suddenly have to smile unexpectedly in everyday life, she is there. When a gentle breeze touches your face while you are thinking of her. All these are not mere coincidences, but small messages full of pure love. She will always come back to you when you need her most urgently. In your dreams, in the silence, in the invisible spaces of your life. Don't be afraid to gratefully and openly accept these beautiful signs. It is best to write them down in detail immediately after waking up. Because these dreams are her most valuable and personal gift to you. Tell us about your dream. When did she visit you again for the first time? Write it to us exactly here, because your story will also bring comfort to many others. None of us has to walk this heavy, silent journey of grief completely alone. Close your eyes tonight and simply leave your inner door slightly open. Because true, deep love always finds its way back to you. Forever.